In Chile, the Catholic Church has many needs. Roughly 3 million people live in poverty, with up to 850,000 living close to abject poverty. In search of a better life, many migrate to the big cities. They crowd the city limits, creating slums. Here they try to survive the everyday, often without food, without the means to support themselves in unmerciful conditions, lacking basic plumbing, clean water and electricity. It is in these places without hope, the neighbourhoods of poverty, that sanctuaries are most needed.
There are many spiritual needs. We couldn't remain indifferent to the needs of a country in this sense. We looked for a campaign rooted in tradition, one that would suit the charisma of aid to the church in need, and moreover suit Chile's needs as well. Furthermore, we discovered a great lack of chapels in Chile. The Chilean church should learn to support itself day to day, but building chapels is an expense that it just can't afford. That is how the campaign, Chapels for Chile, was born. Without a home for worship, a religious life is nearly impossible.
The Chapels for Chile campaign was initiated in Alto Hospicio in Iquique, a city of nearly 60,000 inhabitants. It is one of the poorest regions of Chile. It has been marked by both natural and man-made disasters, most recently a series of tragic and unsolved murders. Over the last 3 years, 13 young women disappeared from Alto Hospicio without a trace. Only through the escape of the last victim could the veil of mystery over the attack be lifted. The girl, raped and battered, thrown into an old, abandoned mine, survived. She struggled to the surface to reveal the horrific truth surrounding the murders.
We are in the Atacama Desert, the driest desert in the world. We have here a garbage dump and human misery, and at the same time we have 2 chapels. 2 chapels in remembrance of 2 young girls who were kidnapped, raped and later murdered, and whose bodies were found here. The families, using only these garbage scraps, built them, making an expression of hope and resurrection. When these murders were uncovered, the enormous poverty in which these people live was also uncovered. We then realized that we have to bring God to this region. We traveled to Iquique city, and there the popular piety revealed itself. A place with lots of human enthusiasm and piety, a place of which the media spoke very badly. There was great piety here. These people really like to express their faith. They express it through song, dance and flowers. Everything within their faith is very colourful. We also want to carry hope to holy places, places of poverty, into poor places, but where there is a community which holds on to hope, the hope for resurrection.
A group of missionaries from Alto Hospicio started working in our area, in a community that had only arrived 5 years earlier. Evangelization work was started. After a month's evangelization, we came to the conclusion that we also needed to organize Holy Mass, but there was no room. Once every month, we would empty our homes of chairs and tables. We prepared an altar and waited for a priest.
The open-air Mass was held on different streets. We finally settled in a place where there were no vehicles, in a very small space that later served as our permanent place for Holy Mass.
For 4 years, we celebrated Mass on the street.
We are in the St. Gertrude Chapel in Alto Hospicio. This is the first chapel built through the Chapels for Chile project. In this chapel, many Chileans, deeply moved by the many murders that have occurred in this region, wanted to share their mercy and condolences with this community. We made several holy pictures, and these pictures were brought by families from home to home. In each home, people would pray for the chapel to be constructed. This is a very active community. We built the walls of this chapel, but they created the community. Each year, on December the 1st, they celebrate Mass and pray for all the benefactors who support the organization, aid to the church in need. What's more, they organize collections.
Without a doubt, the chapel signifies a huge grace for the community. It is a place of gathering, a place of growth, a place where everyone is welcome, a place to receive the sacraments. When there is a chapel, the community grows. People feel it belongs to them. They take care of it, love it, make it beautiful. There really exist heroic communities. You see people in the street carrying their own chairs, their own tables, putting up a tent despite the heat or wind. Sometimes they are laughed at by non-believers. Undoubtedly, with this determination, with this strength, they form a spiritual community which lifts the material temple and carries it forward. We are living rocks.
The laity very often carry the development of the parish community. Without them, parish life would not exist. It is they who take on the responsibility of integrating the community, leading catechism studies, making preparations for First Communion or confirmation. This is exemplified in the chapel of St. Pio.
My ideal is to pass on God's love to the youth. I would like them to know that someone loves them and loves them very much. During catechism, we would go from door to door looking for people. And these youths, who prepare themselves for confirmation, are also persuading their friends to join. For the preparation of confirmation, in my group, there are 20 people. In the chapel are about 62 people studying family catechism. This is the crucifix to which young people in my community nail their sins. This is an idea that is often practiced before confirmation. These are symbols given to young people so that they know more about God.
The lack of chapels in Chile is inseparable from the concern about vocations. The 900 parishes where 1,150 priests work cannot quench the spiritual needs of the Chilean community.
I ask, where can we find vocations if the young people don't have chapels, if the children don't see any place where they can meet God in the Eucharist? Well, the problem of the lack of vocations is certainly a result of the lack of chapels. If you can't see a chapel, you won't see vocations.
In the north, Chileans greatly honor the Holy Virgin. Annually, thousands make the long pilgrimage to the Virgin of Carmen sanctuary in La Tirana to offer prayers of gratitude and supplication. In Alto Hospicio, through the help of aid to the church in need, a chapel of the Virgin of Carmen is being built.
The Virgin Mary has a particular love for people in need, and the villagers have responded to her presence and her mediation. In Latin America, specifically in Chile, there exists a belief that the Virgin Mary singles out the poor for favor, especially those who have remained faithful. Brothers and sisters,